Good morning, afternoon, or evening, again, wherever you might be in time and space. I needed to come back and tell you something and show you something. So if you happen to tune into my live stream earlier, which I don't really recommend, it was just a nightmare. A nightmare of nightmares, but that is, 'tis the season, right? It was supposed to be a spooky live stream anyway. But this plane was working just fine prior to the show in my tests. And then when I went to do my show, nothing worked. And it was embarrassing. Okay. So I went back and tried to find out, well, what the heck is wrong with this? They've broken the autopilot. It doesn't even look like the original autopilot that we had. It's changed. Some things have been moved around. Okay, but nothing was working. So I started going through everything I could again, looking through the manual and looking through things, and there was this little tiny passage saying, don't use this aircraft with DirectX 12. And I'm thinking, well, it's a visual thing, you know? And it was working earlier with DX12, but hey, let's figure out what the heck is wrong. So it switched off DX12, restarted, and that seemed to be the problem. So right now, she's operating the way she's supposed to be operating. Right now, she's going from waypoint to waypoint. I created a just giant convoluted flight path with a bunch of waypoints to see if it would follow along the waypoints, and it's doing that now. Okay, it's now obeying the altitude selection. So if I come into the altitude and I change this to 11,000 feet, okay, she's automatically going up to 11,000 feet. Normally you have to like click this off and then back on again, but she's doing it. She's climbing to 11,000 feet. The speed hold. Let's do 250. Now on this one, okay, now it's behaving. It's even just doing it. I don't even have to toggle this on and off. So she's functioning. So if you are having problems, maybe even problems beyond the F-35 autopilot, then that could be the problem. It hates DirectX 12. That's unusual, and I hope they get this resolved before 2024. I'm surprised they haven't resolved it yet. Some people are so displeased they're demanding a refund. And I don't know if they read the manual either. I'm glad I didn't get to that point. I was about to come on and do a live stream after my live stream to just talk about how garbage the greatest plane in Microsoft Flight Simulator aircraft, the greatest aircraft in Microsoft Simulator has been broken. And it's a complete piece of garbage now. I'm glad I didn't do that live stream. That'd have been par for the course, though. So the reason why I wanted to use this plane earlier and the reason why I've been focusing on it this week, and I might as well take another minute to talk about it, is that this is where technology is going. So this is $1 billion aircraft or more, but this is a military aircraft. But the flight capabilities of this with the autopilot and its VTOL capabilities, right? This is where we're going. This technology is very, 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 very soon. In some places now, has come down to general aviation. From this point forward, more and more and more aircraft are going to have controls like this. And that's just the way it is. Technology advances. Right? They're already discussing or are in the process of phasing out VORs around the United States. So all that VOR training eventually could just be gone. I think that would kind of be a shame for at least another 100 years, I guess. Give it some time, man. Like we already gave it time. And the question I've been asking this week is, when things start getting this simple, and when they work. Right now it's broken the route. Let's see what I need to do. Maybe that's weird. In some places it's just going on to the next leg. Here it's not going on to the next leg. Let me click this back again. So I'm not saying it's without bugs and it's entirely fixed, because it didn't. Now it's figuring out what to do with itself. And now it seems to be wanting to go to the next waypoint. So, okay. So, it's working 99%. I'd say that right there was a little bit buggy. It should have been much more Johnny on the spot. Maybe it's calculating a better curve. I don't know, but that curve seemed awful light, and it shouldn't have overshot and got that far off course. And I love flying this thing. I am going to love the heck out of the aircraft that are coming in the future. And I'm glad I know what I know about flying, but pretty soon I don't know that you're going to need to know what you need to know. Unless you stay with what is now archaic. Everything up to right now is now archaic. Mostly. We don't even have the proper avionics and flight planning and autopilots to do what we actually need to do in the future. Tomorrow, today, right now. We don't have inner city flight planning. So these VTOLs that are coming in, these aircraft that we're going to have here real soon, are going to be super precise point-to-point flying. And are going to be used as air taxis and Ubers and DoorDashers. But there's no flight planning for grandma's house to Lowe's to Walmart to the airport to the hotel to the McDonald's. There's no inner city mapping, flight planning. And there's no way to send an inner city flight plan to take you from grandma's to Lowe's to Walmart to McDonald's available to us today. And that's desperately needed. And how are they going to? When you have 20 or 30 aircraft that are now VTOLs running around cities as taxis, how in the world are we going to control that like air traffic control? Anyway, that's not what this quick live stream was about. This live stream was about the F-35 hates DirectX 12, and it's probably the reason why you're having problems like I did. So go back to your settings, turn off DirectX 12 if you want to fly it, and I hope they work that out. Other than that, that's it. Have a great day.